And we're joined now by our baseball analyst, Steve Phillips. Now, at this point, multiple reports that Marcus Stroman has been traded to the Mets. No word yet on the return. Your initial thoughts on the end of the Stroman era in Toronto, Steve?
Yeah, I think that, listen, certainly he had an up and down career, no question. A beloved guy, though, by the fans there. And he loved Toronto. And I think he gave his heart for everything he did. There certainly were peaks and valleys throughout the course of his career. He pitched in the playoffs for the team. He came back from the torn ACL. He gave everything he had to the organization. And now they move on. Now, the reports I'm hearing now are indications that the Jays are getting pitching prospects back from the Mets. Now, it's unclear who those are. It's all pending physicals, making sure the medicals check out. But it's an interesting move from the Mets' perspective because they seem to be out of it, and there's some thought that they may flip Stroman. And I think from the Jays' perspective, after shopping it around, to be able to get some pitching prospects back. Now, the Mets don't have a ton of prospects that are that close to the major league level, so it'll be interesting to see what that package ultimately looks like and why the Jays decided to go that direction rather than wait it out a little bit. It's an odd move, right? So the Mets not in contention. It's not the Yankees who are certainly going for it right now, where Davy Garcia, a young pitching prospect at AAA, seem to be the target for a lot of teams that the Yankees are talking to. It's not the Houston Astros, who have some pitching prospects that have underachieved, but some big-name guys. It's not the Twins or the Brewers, any of those teams. It's the New York Mets, and it's going to be really interesting how it all plays out. But reports are indicating that the Jays are getting pitching prospects back from the Mets. We'll have to wait and see who those players are.
Now, going back a few years ago, Stroman was part of the long-term future. I mean, he's 28 now. So where did things change in that plan?
I think what really happened were the peaks and valleys in his career. I mean, he's pitching great this year, but he's coming off of a season in 2018 where he had a 5.5 ERA. He had some shoulder inflammation, had some health problems. Then you go back, the year before was pretty good, but the year before that was not as good. And so many peaks and valleys where things just seem to get away here and there. Mechanics at times could be challenging for him. I think his health, where he battled through maybe some physical issues where it did impact his performance, but he always gave it all. And you know that you always what effort you were going to get when he took the mound. But I think that they never could lock in on what his value was for the long term because of those peaks and valleys. So he goes out having pitched well. He's going to try to help somebody get to the postseason for the next year plus. And the Blue Jays continue the rebuilding process as they move forward.
In your opinion, are the Mets a good fit for Stroman?
It's a peculiar fit. I mean, certainly he's from New York, and Mets fan base is a stronghold in Long Island where he was born. So from that perspective, it makes sense. His going from the American League East to the National League East fits well because he'll be facing National League teams without the designated hitter. The sinker ball will play. They're not the best defensive infield, so there's some part there that I don't love as the fit for him. But I'm not convinced that this is the end point for him. There may be a next step for the Mets. Because they're not competing this year, it seems to me that maybe they've got some other things going on that they could end up flipping Marcus Stroman.
That's our baseball analyst, Steve Phillips. Thank you, Steve.